This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, the inimitable guest this morning is Dr. Thomas Polucki, a local chiropractor.
Hi.
Do you love your title?
Yeah. It's good to be back. It seems like forever since I've been a guest on the Senior Hour.
I know. You're noisy this morning.
Yeah, trying to get it all worked out, you know.
So what have you been doing for the last week?
Oh, okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, nobody needs to spend money at a gym. All you need is a yard. Trying to take care of a yard is a workout and then some. And in this kind of weather, you get the whole sauna and sunbed effect too. So it's like a spa. It's all good. It's all good. But, you know, all joking aside, it's hot out there.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Hydration is a major issue.
Absolutely.
And I know your senior group tends to try to limit the amount of water they take in just because it's difficult to maybe get to the bathroom frequently. So that can cause a lot of problems for people. And in this kind of heat, you can't take any of those risks. It can really be a life-threatening situation.
Yes.
Real quick.
It really can. I was outside. I went out yesterday morning early to get some of the roses off the bushes and trim them because I knew the gardeners were coming. They didn't get there until 3. And by that time, it was unbearably hot.
Yeah.
I don't know how they all do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But they keep mowing and mowing and blowing and blowing and trimming and trimming. It's just amazing. And look who's with us today. Welcome back, Dr. Jean.
Well, thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it.
Did you have a good vacation?
Sure did. Went to, of all places, Washington, D.C.
Yes.
for a vacation.
I know. We heard all about it.
Did
or
you?
some of the things anyway.
Yeah, no, we were there to lobby and try to bring forth good health care to women. And, there's a lot of pushback nowadays in our legislatures that, people just don't feel that women should have those rights, and we're not going to let them go. We've come too far. And when I say we, I mean, I'm on that side. We have 3 daughters, and we're just not going to let, those who feel that they're going to abridge the rights of women who are out there. And, you belong to Zonta, and your organization, Seroptimus, AAUW, American Association of University Women in this community, have fought for these rights.
Absolutely.
And we're going to continue to do that. And, we're here on the Senior Hour to, bring good health to them. And Dr. Polucki is one of those champions that has helped all along to be able to do that for us.
Now you're a champion. Boy, you're getting all kinds of good stuff today. I said the inimitable.
There you go.
When I introduced him.
I wear many hats here.
Are you living up to your titles?
In my mind.
No. I just saw you in practice, and you did the job that was needed.
Oh, awesome. I like that. Tell me about it.
And then I'm coming to see you after the show is over, and you can straighten me out.
Oh, I like that.
I thought Russ, your husband, did that. No, women's rights. All right. So, you were talking about staying active. Though,
yeah.
So one of the things that, lawn work certainly is one of the ways that, we can do that. But, we're talking today about a temperature of 102 degrees.
It's supposed to be hotter than that.
Yeah, I think it's more than that right now.
And the air quality is absurdly bad. So, we, I think, have to recognize that in a valley which is a desert, and make sure that our seniors especially have good caution in making sure they don't end up in the hospital. Dehydration and maintaining hydration is an important facet of what we need to put out there to our seniors. And staying cool, doing inside work instead of outside work, right during these hours right now is really important. And I think that, it's common sense, but, sometimes people's temperature gauge isn't working as good as it used to. And sometimes they're perspiring when they, don't know they are. And sometimes they're losing water when they don't know they are. So we have to be able to, get them to exercise. But here in the valley, we have to make sure the timing is correct.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is if you're outside, even without activity in this kind of heat, and I don't understand why anybody would be outside doing any kind of activity in this kind of heat. Even though I'm a big fan of walking, we walk before the sun is anywhere in the sky. It's just daybreak and that's really the best time to get out and get moving anyway. Woo!
And that's when I run. I go out and try to, get out there, and the air is fresh. And sometimes you're out there, and the sun is rising. It's beautiful here in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we do want to talk about is continued exercise again.
Sure.
With our seniors. What do our seniors do to, stay in shape despite the fact that it gets hot here and the air is bad? How do we?
Well, if
how do we
you've
move
got
forward
access
with
to a pool, that is the best.
It
That's
is,
the best.
absolutely.
So I know we have the Y. I don't think there's a pool involved with the senior center, is there?
No.
That is probably something that should be on the table for you guys.
It was.
Create some kind of relationship. Santa Clarita Health Club has it. Obviously, LA Fitness has it.
yes.
And I believe they have some kind of a special deal for Medicare Part, I don't
F.
know.
It's Part F.
Part F.
Which I am.
Yeah, so...
What is Part F?
It's your secondary insurance, and it's a category that secondary insurances go in. I think it A, B, C, D, E, F, and maybe a G. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so you can go there.
Medicare is your secondary?
Medicare is my primary, and the secondary insurances are categorized into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I think it is, and I'm F. So I took that, and your friend Judy Penman, who will be talking at the senior center, I think maybe this Friday or next Friday, but she knows all about this. She's very good at helping individuals like myself who eventually went into Medicare, how to make good decisions. And I think, Judy has done a great job over there. But yeah, F allows one to make a choice. And one of those is to find a place where you can exercise and have a swimming pool.
Yeah, that's good. So I know LA Fitness has a good facility. I've also been at the Y. It's a good facility. Santa Clarita Athletic Club. I don't know if they are participating in that Part F thing or not. I don't know, but the pool. A lot of the communities here, the planned communities, have pools too.
They do.
And for seniors,
those are outside.
Yeah.
And, you have to put your lotion on and protect your skin and wear a hat and sunglasses while you're out there, and make sure if you're around a pool that you're getting hydration despite that.
Right.
Cold drinks do make a difference if you know how to make slushies and ices and shakes and malts and all those great things that's making us hungry right now. It's good to make your inner core healthy and keep it cool.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Hydration is going to be important. The June is, among other things, it's Outdoor Appreciation Month, which is great. It's a little intense out there right now, but it's also Headache Month. I don't know how that happened, but it is.
Headache month.
Yeah, I went on the calendar and trying to find health-related calendar events, and I think it was Anthem Blue Cross puts out a great calendar, and it says all the different awareness things that happen in a given month. So men's health, good luck with that one. I don't even bother trying anymore. But it is scoliosis month, headache awareness month, outdoor appreciation or something like that month. So and safety. So of all of the things that fit your audience, safety is certainly primary, and headaches is a big one. We were just talking about hydration, how important that is. That's a major contributing factor to headache, and
Absolutely, it is.
a huge factor that probably isn't talked about a whole lot is medication overuse headache. So the interesting thing is that headache medication, which I lived on for the first 16 years of my life because I was a chronic headache sufferer from the time I was born, daily, something, aspirin, Excedrin, whatever. Then now they're finding that headache medication causes headaches. Crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, actually causes headaches. The more you take headache medication, the more frequent and the more severe your headaches become.
And you try to taper off the medication, it might enhance it as well through some kind of withdrawal.
Yeah, so not talked about widely, but a very real issue. If you're in the chronic headache category, your medication might be part of the problem. So we're actually doing a workshop class, a 1-hour class, Tuesday night, the 27th, I think, Tuesday the 27th at 7 p.m. in my office, that covers the things that you're not going to get from that, with all due respect, 5-minute consultation with your primary physician. You get an hour of information that I lived through firsthand as a headache sufferer, all the mistakes that I made for the first 16 years of my life growing up in a medical family, and then what changed it all. In 34 years, I haven't taken an aspirin. And it's not like I'm part of some kind of religious belief system or anything like that. I just haven't needed to. So going from daily medication to not even taking an aspirin for 34 years is kind of a big leap for most people to accept. But I know because I live it. So
You're trying to put Bayer out of business.
yeah, I don't think they have anything to worry about. But yeah, it wouldn't be such a bad thing if you didn't have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pills a day to deal with stuff, I think.
Whoa. I take vitamins.
Yeah. And I'm just not so sure the repertoire of medications that I see. I think the prescription medications is mainly what we talk about. Some of the things that are out there that we get convinced of taking, like vitamins, I think to a certain degree are beneficial. And, too often we have people who, studies that are shown that whether there's a benefit or not, there's a psychological benefit. So, if you think that vitamin C is going to protect you against getting the common cold, well, maybe it might. Maybe it will. Maybe it's just psychological. I don't know. But
that's okay. 30% of all medicine is the placebo
effect. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, the placebo aspect is a piece of how we heal. And we get convinced that medicines are going to do the trick for us. And unfortunately, it's on the negative side because then it leads to too much medicine. And that's where we look at our seniors and we say, you're on too many drugs.
Yeah.
Polypharmacy, we call it. But, just you're on too many drugs. And I think too often we'll have families come in and the patients will say, hey, can you get rid of some of these medications? And you look at them, and I look at them sometimes and go, whoa.
Yeah.
There's too much.
What about the aspirin in regards to heart care?
Well,
that's always given as you better take an aspirin.
Yeah, well, Dr. Dorio and I may have very different opinions on that because there's research to show both that it is beneficial and that it absolutely is not. So I'm kind of in the camp that it's not. but I respect people who believe that it is. I know most heart surgeons will recommend aspirin for their heart patients, and I'm not about to get in the middle of that.
Well,
but
what does the aspirin supposedly do for a heart patient?
Most aspirin is fortified with magnesium, which is really good for your heart. And the secondary thing is that acetylsalicylic acid, which is the active ingredient in acid, does a weird thing in the way that platelets behave. The clotting factor in your body. So it doesn't. It's thrown out there that aspirin thins the blood. The viscosity doesn't change at all. So it's not thinning the blood. It's just reducing the risk of clotting because platelets don't behave normally anymore. So when they become irritated, they don't necessarily trigger the same response and clump up anymore.
Okay.
So that's real. That really happens, and that is a real effect of aspirin. Whether that actually reduces the risk of having a cardiovascular or a cerebrovascular stroke is what's up for debate.
Well, what does the magnesium do?
Magnesium is excellent for heart health. Most people don't get enough magnesium across the board anyway. So magnesium is the core of chlorophyll. You take chlorophyll and hemoglobin and put them side by side. They're identical structures, except at the core of hemoglobin is iron and at the core of chlorophyll is magnesium. And since we have very few raw green vegetables in our diet anymore, most of us are dramatically low on magnesium. And it's really necessary for a lot of things to run right in your body, including your heart.
Well, we eat green vegetables every day. And I also take magnesium pills.
Good.
Yeah. So,
can you overdose on them?
Any metal can be a problem eventually. You could potentially cause some problems with it. The nice thing about magnesium is if you start getting to the upper limits of what your body will or won't tolerate, you're probably going to be run into the bathroom. So it's kind of self-limiting.
Oh.
milk of magnesia.
Milk of magnesia.
We use it to MOM. We use
I can
for those
remember.
who might get constipated.
My mother giving us milk of magnesia when I was a little girl. Oh my goodness, that stuff's been around forever.
Yeah.
And you're still alive.
And I'm still
There you
alive.
go.
That's right. But aspirin, we use baby aspirin, 81 milligrams, and even in acute situations where we suspect heart attack, we'll have the paramedics will give a baby aspirin, the chewable baby aspirin. You'll chew it while you're, maybe even having chest pain. But, that's supposed to act fairly quickly if there's clot and platelet accumulation and aggregation, then it will help alleviate that and maybe save your life. And that's the whole ongoing theory. And just realize across the board, these theories come and they stay, and some of them come and they go. So we don't know for sure the efficacy of it, but we do feel that it probably plays a role. So let it be. You know why? Because if you're in an emergency situation and you're having chest pain and they think it might be a heart attack and you chew aspirin, to be honest with you, an 81 milligram aspirin is not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So you just do it. If the situation deems it and the present evidence-based medicine says we should do it, you do it. It might change in 10 years, but right now that's what we're doing. So
Absolutely.
There's debate on it.
So it does help.
That
In an
is the
emergency
thought.
situation, something like an aspirin is a no-brainer.
Okay.
But it's not being used just in emergency situations.
very
It's
true.
being recommended that everybody take it daily. That's what I have a problem with. I don't believe that is a realistic application of this tool. In an emergency situation, aspirin, no-brainer. But daily use to supposedly prevent an event, I don't think it's scientifically valid. I think that will be proven not to be the case.
And my thought is the long-term use of it is effective, and 81 milligrams once again on a daily basis. Just for almost all of us, one of the complaints is, oh, I'm bruising easily. We're not seeing a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
What we will see is people taking other medications, and these other medications, when people have problems with the potential for stroke and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a new ball game. Pulmonary embolus, it's a new ball game, and we think it does make a difference. If you have atrial fibrillation and irregular heartbeat, you want to be able to assure that the person doesn't have a stroke, because it's catastrophic.
Sure.
You have a stroke and it kills you. Well, it kills you. But if you're debilitated by it, then that's a different story. If now you want to work in your garden, whether it's hot or not, whether you want to go to the YMCA to go swimming, just to get exercise, you won't be able to do that. It's
Right.
getting harder and harder on one's lifestyle, if you have some of these major events. So, we have to kind of balance and weigh between, hurting someone, the benefits, and hurting someone, side effects. But, to me, we're still weighing that, and I'm okay with that. I look at that for all my patients, especially, my senior patients who, have too many medications to begin with, and trying to stave off that thought that they're going to, have 25 medications does not work for me.
Right. Yeah, there's a thing that most people are outside of this group are not going to be too concerned about, but is very real, is something called CP450. It's the major detoxification pathway in the body. And the more things you have tying that up, the more problems you're going to have in every area. So less medication is probably better when it's not a known risk factor for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think we need to take a break. What a very interesting conversation. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS.